next question, the member for Beaches, East York.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. My question is for the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing. I'm sure the Minister fondly remembers last year at committee when I asked him about the major transit station area approvals. It has now been 111 days since the Minister told me that sign-off would be soon, and that soon meant very soon. Well, in those 111 days, not only have the Ontario Liberals released a comprehensive housing plan, including a strong focus on quickly approving and upzoning MTSAs, but also I have had the time to order a Webster's dictionary for the Minister, and I've highlighted the definition of soon. I'm happy to educate the Minister on his vocabulary. Soon means without undue time lapse, before long, in a prompt manner, straight away, shortly, sometime in the 21st century.
Order.
Enough of the vague promises and false hopes. We need a specific date and time for municipalities to get shovels in the ground. Speaker, my question to the Minister is, when will you approve the MTSAs for Toronto and Ontario?
To reply, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing.
Speaker, I appreciate the opportunity. Of course, we are working very closely with Mayor Chow on developing an approval of those official plans, Mr. Speaker. But at the same time, look, we understand that after 15 years of Liberal government, no homes were being built across the province of Ontario. In fact, they took away the dream of home ownership. That is the legacy of the Liberal government when they were in power, Mr. Speaker. Now, they introduced a policy the other day. They introduced a housing policy the other day. Now, the new housing critic, what did he say about his own policy in 2022? He asked, when asked about major transit station area building, he said he was going to fight against it and use whatever levers he could to stop this outrageous type of development from happening. So on the one hand, the Liberal critic says he wants more, but when he's in private with his community groups, he calls it outrageous.
Response?
Now, their Liberal leader, she doubles down. She calls a 12-story condo unit that she disapproved of and rejected an abomination. That's the Liberal record. They say one thing, they accomplish nothing.
Order. The supplementary question. Back to the member for Beaches East York.
Tick-tock, you need a clock, Minister. Speaker, if the government truly believes that they're delivering on their housing plan, let's look at their track record. Limit exclusionary zoning in municipalities through binding provincial action? Nope, hasn't been done. Allow as-of-right zoning up to unlimited height and unlimited density in the immediate proximity of individual major transit stations? Nope, hasn't been done. Allow as-of-right zoning up to 6 to 11 stories with no minimum parking requirements on all streets utilized by public transit? Nope, hasn't been done. I could go on because they have yet to implement 52 of 55 recommendations from their own housing task force. Speaker, the Ontario Liberals have a bold housing plan, and in 2026, under Bonnie Crombie, we will fix many, many disasters and crises this government has created.
Stop the clock. Order. I apologize to the member for Beaches East York. I had to interrupt her because I could not hear her.
She's way over time.
We're paying attention to the time. I can reassure all members that that is the case. Okay. Please restart the clock. The member for Beaches East York.
My question for the minister is, do you need a link to the Ontario Liberal Housing Plan so you can actually get shovels in the ground and address the housing crisis?
Stop the clock. The House will come to order. Please start the clock. Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I certainly won't need a link to anything that the Liberals have done, because under the 15 years that they had the opportunity, housing starts never really increased, did they? In fact, they stayed steady. You know what happened when we got elected? They increased year after year after year after year. You know why? Because we kept removing obstacles. The last year that the Liberal leader was in office in Mississauga, you know how many housing starts they got? 12! 12! That is the record of the Leader of the Opposition. 12 housing starts. In fact, she increased development charges by over 27%. You know what happens, Mr. Speaker? When you increase taxes, you make housing unaffordable. When you put carbon taxes, you make housing unaffordable. When you increase development charges, you make housing unaffordable. And you know what communities have done that? Mississauga did it. That's why the population of Mississauga decreased.
Response.
Burlington is doing it, and that's why they're missing their housing targets. Where there are Conservative mayors, they reduce taxes, they remove obstacles, and they're getting their housing done, Mr. Speaker. Stouffville.
Stop the clock.